हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप सब? आई गेस यू आर डूइंग वंडर and adding stars to your life. So without wasting any time, let's get started. In the previous video, we have dealt with a very interesting topic, which is our real numbers. So in the same fashion, today we are going to deal with a very interesting topic, which are our rational numbers. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So, when we speak about our rational numbers, what do you think a rational number is? Rational numbers are numbers which can be expressed in the form of p by q. Any number, we know that any number which can be expressed in the form of a ratio or a fraction or in the form of p by q is termed as our rational numbers, and where p and q are two integers, and where q is not equal to 0. So this is our rational numbers. When we deal with our rational numbers, let us look after a few examples of what are rational numbers. When we speak about rational numbers, we have our 1 by 4, we have our 2 by 5, we have our 11 by 2, we have minus 9 by 5, we have 0 by 2, or any other number. We call it as rational number. Numbers which are in fraction with a non-zero denominator is always called your rational number. So I have mentioned in an example that we have 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3, and so on. So let me tell you guys that yes, we can say that 0 is also a rational number. But if it is 1 by 0, 2 by 0, 3 by 0, or 4 by 0, or anything else that is our denominator contains 0, then they are not our rational numbers. Since they give us an infinite value, they are not our rational numbers. So when we speak about those rational numbers, we see we have quotients or we have fractions. Now moving forward, we have to check whether fractions are equal or not. How do we check this fractions whether they are equal or not? We have what is called our equivalent fractions. Our equivalent fractions will tell us whether our fractions are equal or not. In the first circle, if you tell, see, this is a fraction of 1 by 2, which is merely telling us an half. Whereas when you see in the second diagram, we have 2 by 4, that is two parts of circle divided by the total parts of our circle. But when we divide 2 by 4, we get 1 by 2, which is an equivalent fraction. That is 2 by 4 is equivalent to 1 by 2. In the similar fashion, when you look after 3 by 6, that is 3 parts of 6 parts is equivalent to 4 parts of 8 parts. When you divide both, you will get 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. So what do we observe in all those figures? We observe that 1 by 2 is equivalent to 2 by 4, which is equivalent to 3 by 6, and which is equivalent to 4 by 8. So this is how we check whether two fractions are equal to or not. Moving forward, I have told you that fractions are of three types, in which one is our proper fractions, second is our mixed fractions, and third is our improper fractions. When we speak about proper fractions, our numerator is always smaller than our denominator, that is our proper fraction. When we speak about improper fractions are where our numerator is always greater than our denominator. And when we speak about our mixed fractions, it is sum of whole numbers, and fractions is called our mixed fractions. Let us take 4 3 by 8. We have 1 5 by 2. These are all mixed fractions. Now how did we get these fractions? We will look into it with an example. Moving forward, we have our improper fraction, where a fraction in which our numerator is always greater than our denominator is termed as our improper fraction. So you can see we have 142 by 5, we have 17 by 4, where our numerators are always greater than our denominator. So these are few examples of our improper fractions. Now, when we speak about changing an improper fraction to a mixed fraction, there are certain steps to be followed when we are converting an improper fraction to mixed fraction. Thus, first, in order to convert our improper fraction to a mixed fraction, we need to divide our numerator by our denominator, then write down the whole number answer, and then write down our any remainder above the denominator. Suppose you want to convert your 23 by 8 to a mixed fraction. You simply need to divide 23 by 8 and you will get a 2 with a remainder 7. So we need to write down the 2 and then write down the denominator 3. Okay, then we need to write down our denominator 7. We have written our reminder, sorry, we have written 2 and with a reminder 7, and we have got our mixed fraction. When we notice these things, how denominator stays the same when we are converting improper fraction to an mixed fraction. In our improper fraction, our denominator is 8, and in our mixed fraction, our denominator is also 8. Now, when we see how we are changing a mixed fraction into an improper fraction, simply we need to convert. When we need to convert a mixed fraction to an improper fraction, we need to simply multiply the whole number part by the fractions of denominator, and then add it to the numerator, and then write down the result on top of the denominator. For example, if you take your 32 by 5, we need to simply multiply the whole numbers. We multiplied it 5 into 3 and then add this whole number to the numerator, that is 5 into 3 plus 2, and denominator as it is. And when we solve it, we get 17 by 5 as our answer. So here also, when you notice how denominator stays the same when converting from a mixed fraction to an improper fraction. That is when you convert a mixed fraction into an improper fraction, or when you convert an improper fraction into a mixed fraction, the thing you notice is your denominator always remains the same whenever you do the conversion process. Hope you guys are clear with how we are changing a mixed fraction into an improper fraction, and how we are changing an improper fraction into an mixed fraction. Now, looking forward, we have we know that fractions are everywhere and they are really very fun. Now suppose you want, you can see here is a guy and he's telling that rate me 1 to 10. How can you rate them? Simply you tell, can we use a fraction? Yes, when you want to rate him 1 to 10, you can use fractions. So here we are to show you the rules of fractions. The first is our addition fraction. Second we come across is our subtraction fraction. Third is our multiplication fraction. Fourth is our division fraction. So let us look into the types of fractions and the rules in detail. Now, moving forward to our addition fraction. See, addition fraction, we know that we need to add things. Addition fraction, what it requires is just a common denominator. As we have seen when we are converting improper fractions to mixed fractions to improper fractions, the thing we notice is we need to have a common denominator. So in the same fashion, when we come into action with our addition fraction, it requires a common denominator. Now how do you get a common denominator? In case you just to get a common denominator between fractions, you need to simply multiply the denominator, and that's it, you will get your common denominator. When we look after an example, let us take 2 by 12, 2 divided by 12 plus 4 divided by 6. How do we do this? See, when you are performing an addition fraction, what you need to do is, देखो बच्चों, here you have 2 by 12 यार, you have 12, 2 by 12, इसके डिनोमिनेटर में भाई 12 है, इसके डिनोमिनेटर में भाई 6 है, तो दोनों इक्वल तो नहीं हुए डिनोमिनेटर, वी नीड टू गेट अ कॉमन डिनोमिनेटर. तो भाई 4 by 6 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करोगे कि डिनोमिनेटर 12 आ जाए? तो 6 में 2 जाता है, 12 आता है. ओके, so 6 multiplied by 2 will give you 12. And there is one more rule: whenever you have fraction of numerator and denominator, whatever thing you are doing to the denominator, the same thing should be done to your numerator. Now when you look in this case, we need a common denominator, for which we are multiplying our 6 with 2 in this 6 by 6 with 2. Now when we are dividing 6 by 2, the numerator should also be multiplied by 2, that is we get 4 by 2. So 2 by 12 plus 4 into 2 divided by 6 into 2. Now when we simplify this, we get 2 divided by 12 plus 4 2's 8 and 6 2's 12. Now you can see we have got common denominators for both the fractions. When we simplify, just take 12 in our denominator, add 8 plus 2. Let me have a pen, please. Let me have a pen. See, when you have 2 divided by 12 plus 8 divided by 12, simply take 12 common in your denominator and plus 8, you'll get your 10 by 12. Hope this method is working, guys. Next, moving forward to subtraction fraction, we have the same set of rule what we have followed for addition. Here in subtraction fraction also we require a common denominator. Now when we look after an example, we have our 3 by 4 minus 2 by 5. Now you can see over here even our denominators are not same. So when we want a common denominator, we need to multiply our denominators in such a way that we get a common denominator. We have look guys, we have 4 in our new denominator and 5 in our denominator. So when we multiply 4 with 5 and 5 with 4, you get denominator 20, which is our common denominator. So there is another rule that when we are whatever the whatever the function or operation is being performed on the denominator, the same operation is to be performed on your numerator. So when we are multiplying a denominator by 5 and with 4, obviously our numerators also get multiplied with the same numbers. Now when we multiply 5 times, we get 15, and 2 4 times we get 8, and our common denominator is 20. Now putting down 20 in our denominator, just subtract 15 minus 8 and you get 7 by 20. I guess the subtraction fraction is clear with you guys. Moving forward to our multiplication fraction. Multiplication fraction is the easiest one. You simply need to multiply the numerator and then multiply the denominators. So let us take an example: 1 by 3 multiplied by 2 by 5. What you need to do is simply multiply your numerator and denominator. Multiply 3 into 5, multiply your 2 into 5, you'll get 2 by 15. This is as simple as any other fractions. So need not worry about multiplication fraction. It is the easiest form of fraction. Next, moving forward to our division fraction. Division fraction, there is one more step required, which is we need to keep first fraction the same and change the multiple to divide and flip the second fraction, which means when we take an example 2 by 5 divided by 6 by 7, see what you do is first we need to change the fraction when you multiply. So you put the first fraction the same, and when you divide, when we need for division fraction, first step is we need to multiply the fractions. So here we have 6 by 7. When we multiply, it becomes 7 by 6. That is, we are changing, or we are flipping the second fraction, which is also called as your inverse, which is also called your inverse. Now when we multiply 2 into 7 and 5 into 6, we get 14 by 30. This is our division fraction. Hope you guys are clear with what are rational numbers, what are types of fractions you have, examples of our rational numbers, and you have proper how, I think you have understood how to convert an improper fraction to a mixed fraction, a mixed fraction to an improper fraction, and then we have even looked out the rules of fraction, that is addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division with examples. And hope this video is clear and have given you a clear-cut idea or basic idea of what rational numbers are. In the next video we shall learn about our what are irrational numbers. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you, friends, and always stay tuned to VEENA'S Educate. And if you are new to the channel, please like the channel, share the channel, subscribe, and comment in the comment box if you need more interesting videos as such. Thank you, friends.